Welcome back. Today I have a short but interesting gameplay for you. My opponent for this match is called ColdBrewed. Remember to like the video and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. At the start of the match, I decide to pick up the Supply Specialist card, which comes with both crawlers and tanks. These are 3 good starting items. Now, to decide on a formation. As usual, I begin to position my tanks in vertical rows just in front of my towers. I then place the crawler units behind each row of tanks. There's a very good reason for this. Crawlers move at a higher rate of speed than tanks. I don't want too much separation between both the crawlers and tanks. This can often leave them vulnerable. They can be picked off one at a time. Ideally, the crawlers will catch up with the tanks or even begin to overtake them just before connecting with my opponent's units. As long as the opponent doesn't have any round 1 air units, this can be a strong opening. My opening formation wins round 1, and I hit my opponent for almost 700 health points. At the start of round 2, I'm offered the intensive training card. I'm very tempted to pick it up. However, whenever I've picked this up in the past, I almost never use it. This is because I often choose to, or need to, spend the resources elsewhere. In the end, I skip the cards and take the additional 50 credits instead. I then unlock and purchase 2 units of Mustangs. I position the Mustangs at the back line and in a wide area so they can function as flank protection. The Mustangs almost always prove to be good value. I lose round 2 and 550 health points. At the start of round 3, I see the Wasp Swarm is on offer. I check my opponent's board and consider using the card offensively. However, I decide to play it safe, and so I pick up Wasp Swarm and place it defensively on my own backline. My opponent has just pulled off an early game flank using crawlers, and I now need to counter it. I do this by placing my own crawler units right in front of my opponent's units. I also purchase the replica tech. At the start of each round, the crawlers will battle it out, and I need mine to come out on top. I bank my remaining credits and end the turn. I want to see how this plays out. I win the round and hit my opponent for over 1,200 health points. At the start of round 4, I pick up the Senior Defense Specialist card. My opponent is attempting to box me in with crawlers. I need to mirror this behavior by continuing to place my own crawlers down next to theirs. I then level up several of my units, including all of my tanks. The health bonus offered by the Senior Defense Specialist will buff all of my crawlers and help me win this crawler war. For good measure, I also use the mass recruit option to unlock a third unit of crawlers and place them on my front line. I win round 4 and hit my opponent for over 1,200 health points. The game is descending into a crawler war, so I decide to pick up the Speed Specialist at the start of round 5. I have no choice but to build more crawlers to match my opponent's strategy. Where possible, I level up my crawlers to give them that defensive and offensive buff. I want to make sure I keep winning this crawler war and continue swarming my opponent. I then decide to unlock the War Factory, which I will build in a future round. I also use mass recruitment to unlock a third unit of crawlers. At this point, I have 11 units of crawlers. Lastly, to strengthen my crawlers even more, I purchase the level 1 defensive and offensive buff from the research center. I win round 5, hitting my opponent for almost 800 health points in the process. At the start of round 6, I pick up the Laser Sights module. This is an excellent card and value at only 50 credits. As before, I level up my crawlers before purchasing the War Factory. The War Factory is a very versatile unit due to its tech upgrade paths. It should give me a lot of options. I then purchase 2 units of Marksmen and level up a unit of Mustangs. This is to help me deal with the 2 Overlords my opponent now has. I should have placed the Laser Sights module on a pack of Mustangs, but sadly forgot. Game over. I was struggling to kill those overlords. Had there been another round, I would have purchased more marksmen and given them the anti-air tech. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing. I plan to bring out more of these videos in the weeks and months ahead. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.